Welcome back to the next episode of the Police Car Mini. The last episode you saw Uncle Spike cutting the floor out because he decided that he very much wanted a rear radiator. So this is where we stand at the moment. We've got lots of holes in the floor. So just by rear mounting the radiator, that has presented us with a few issues. The first one being just Spike generally. Second one being exhaust pipe is obviously can't go anywhere because we're going to put radiator here, so we're going to try and put the exhaust out, I guess, here, and maybe have a side exit exhaust pipe. Fuel tank is obviously now nowhere to be seen, so we've got to fit a fuel tank.
We've got one extra. We've had a rear seat floor delete.
Oh, we got rear seat floor delete. Yeah, that's next level delete shit. Is what that is. Boot floor delete. Rear seat floor delete, exhaust delete at the moment too, and petrol tank delete at the moment too. So it's all gone. So yeah, in this episode we're going to modify the exhaust pipe, like I say, poke out the side, sort the fuel system. We wanted to sort the fuel system for a while, haven't we? To be fair, like, put a proper fuel system in there, like with a proper return system, and then hopefully at the end of this episode we'll be on the dyno and back on the track. So. Get on and do that, I suppose, until Spike decides he wants to do something else, I suppose. So we're going to have the exhaust pipe coming, don't know, we've utilised some of the older stuff down here, box here, boom, straight out the side there. Uncle Spike is really happy with that.
Looks good.
I'm happy as hell with that too, I must say. Well, side exit done, Spike?
Done.
Done and
Completed.
done. Yeah.
Back box delete.
Back box delete done. Right, on to the next thing, I suppose. We better make a petrol tank, I suppose.
And weld a big hole up in the floor.
And weld a big hole up in the floor. Let's do that first, actually.
Yeah. Glasses on my head and I do a safety squint.
So we've there's a lump in here which we've cut that out. We've made some mounts to mount the new petrol tank that Spike whipped up together. We're gonna have the it's a noisy get, and we're gonna have to put some plastic windows here and exit the. He's made this flute thing which he's gonna put up on there to come out through the window. So yeah, let's mount this petrol tank in then, Uncle Spike.
Yay.
So Uncle Spike has knocked up this fuel tank to just obviously sit where the back seats were. His next bit on the list is to just fit in this methanol tank, make some aluminium bracket to go on there. I fitted a fuse box to the rear to control this, and obviously the rear fans that's going on. Something we did consider was having a swirl pot, external pumps and all this sort of jazz, but we'd already bought a fairly decent fuel pump that went inside of the mini tank. So what we've done is utilised the internal mini swirl pot, and just Spike's made a bracket, comes off of that plate, goes down, just lives in this tank. So he's baffled the tank as well. This is going to come through this window. We're going to, obviously it's glass at the moment, so we're going to put some plastic windows in there, but yeah, so we've just utilised that. We've made the return that would normally come into the top of the internal swirl pot. We've just put two bulkhead fittings on the top there. So the joy of that is we can just use what we've got already, and if we want to upgrade, all we got to do is unbolt that plate, take it off, and change it for something different. So the fuel system is all in and nice. Again, excuse the mess everywhere. We've got a couple of bulkhead fittings in up into the bulkhead as well. And the return system now is excuse the mess everywhere. Just literally a couple of bulkhead fittings in there. Radium fuel pressure regulator, so we're regulating at the front now. This is a 4-bar one. And then he's again just modified the original fuel rail. He's cut the original reg off, welded those up and welded just some AN6 fittings either end. So job's a good one. So Uncle Spike has obviously cut the floor out of this Mini, so I can literally see my feet. and he's fucked off and gone fishing and left me to deal with this. So I've got to fabricate up myself a little scoop, and obviously once the air goes in, it's got to come out. So we're gonna try and the Alexa thinks I'm talking to her, but I'm not. So I've got to try and cut out something in the boot lid. The air comes in, gonna have a rod underneath, it's scooped at the bottom, and then it's got to exit at the back. So he's kindly left me with a piece of mesh and said that needs to go in there. So yeah, I've got to get my fabricating head on now, and I'm a little bit gutted because that is my favourite sticker, and I'm going to lose that whole piece. So let's get on and do that. Hey. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. Got the rad, it's just in for a minute. We're going to make some brackets up, and then obviously we've got to do the scoops. But I'm fairly happy with the boot lid. To be fair, I think Uncle Spike will be happy with my fabrication. Obviously, just trim the hull out, bit of the mesh, and then just bolt it through. Bit of trim. Happy days. A good times roll. Right, so I've been doing some fabricating, obviously. So we've got the rear rad is now mounted. It's on rubbers on, and I've got to bolt it in yet. But the scoop sort of goes down there, and we'll use some aluminium up here and just block that in, and job's good un. Right, so we put it on the dyno. We started working away. About, I don't know, 10 minutes in, we noticed that the coolant was getting cooler, and our water pump is electric. It's got a PWM from the ECU, and that was getting slower and slower and slower. And we can't work out what it was. So we've come to a stop, and we have discovered that we've got a lot of oil in our coolant, and vice versa. It's like bloody chocolate milkshake or chocolate ice cream, probably. So there's only two things that can be. One is head gasket area, but I struggle to believe that, to be quite honest with you. It's literally, it's fresh. We've just put it together. I mean, if it is, it is a bit frustrating. But the other point of clash between water and oil is our nice new DSG gearbox. I've got a water cooler, oil water cooler on the top of the gearbox. So I'm pulling it back off the dyno, and I guess hoping it's that. I don't really want to pull the head off again. If I have, I suppose. It'd be a bit bloody annoying. But yeah, so be it. Let's see if it's the Volkswagen's fault or Chrysler, BMW. Right, let's pull this off of here. Bloody thing.
What are you doing, Steve?
Drinking the Volkswagen gear oil. It's not gone well, Uncle Spike.
Is it meant to be white?
No. Apparently, Volkswagen DSG gearboxes, the water to oil cooler on the top of them, doesn't like keeping the oil and the water separate particularly well.
Oh, I thought you made the world's first cappuccino powered gearbox.
If only. What a pain in the ass.
This is the fourth lot of gearbox oil I'm putting in this thing now. Hopefully, we've done it 3 times so far, and it's still horrendous when it comes out. So hopefully this will be the last lot. I'm getting quite bored of it now. episode, ultimately we've ended in failure. It's a tiny little unit, you know, maybe 6 inches by 2 on the top of the gearbox. Decided to let us down. Obviously it was second-hand part. It is what it is. Me and Spike are both seasoned enough car morons to just accept that, and it is what it is. But we did take it down to, we flushed all the oil through, we put like 20 litres of DSG oil through the gearbox, and the coolant was just like chocolate ice cream. I've never seen anything like it. So we've flushed that through. The coolant system in the engine itself seems absolutely fine now, so that's great stuff. Gearbox not so much. We think we probably damaged some of the electronics by filling the gearbox with water. It just we did like sort of 3-4 hours of tuning on Dyno absolutely fine, and then since this has happened we just keep getting comms errors, and the gearbox keeps dropping in the neutral. So I think, you know, we gave like 300 quid for the gearbox and that, so we're just gonna get another gearbox, throw it in there, and just you know, forget about this little fiasco. Bit of a pain, but you know, so be it. To be fair, you know, it's the end of the season now. We have no more track days booked. We did have one, which we did take it up to, because it was kind of touch and go. It would sometimes work and sometimes not, but I didn't want to go around a track and get halfway round and it just lose drive. I feel like a right tit. So yeah, we did go up, because it was literally the next day. We did take it up there and sort of run it around the pits. 1 minute it was all right, next minute it wasn't. So ultimately it was the right thing to do. We didn't take it on the track. So yeah, over the winter now. So you won't hear from us from this little thing, I would have thought, for a couple of months at least. Maybe me and Spike will get busy over Christmas because he wants to put a roll cage in it. So yeah, the poor old Binny finished off 2021 with a bit of a negative, but so be it. Next year should be amazing. See you soon.